Watch along as I make the DIY conditioner bars from Simply Earth. Hi everybody, last week we made 4 DIY shampoo bars using a Simply Earth DIY kit. This week we're going to be making 4 DIY conditioner bars, also using a Simply Earth kit. These new kits from Simply Earth are amazing. They come with everything that you need. Sometimes you might need to add an additional ingredient like cornstarch or distilled water, but most of the time they have everything you need to complete the kit. And in this kit, it comes with all the things you need to make 4 conditioning bars for your hair. It has the recipe card with all the instructions and all the ingredients needed. It has conditioning emulsifier beads, lavender 4042 essential oil, and tea tree essential oil. That's what this recipe is going to be scented with. If you made the shampoo bars that I showed you last week, you can substitute the essential oils from that kit instead if you want your shampoo bars and conditioner bars to be scented the same. I really like the effects of lavender and tea tree, so I'm going to use those in this recipe. And I think that the shampoo bars and the conditioner bars are going to smell really great together. It also comes with preservative, GeoGuard ECT, argan oil, shea butter and cocoa butter, cetyl alcohol, the wraps to wrap your soaps in, these little papers, and molds to make 4 conditioner bars. Let's get started. So the first thing that the recipe card says to do is, in a double boiler or microwave safe container, melt the conditioning emulsifier, cetyl alcohol, shea butter, cocoa butter, and argan oil together. Use short intervals if microwaving. Heat to around 160 Fahrenheit, stirring occasionally, and once fully melted, remove from heat. So I'm going to gather my ingredients. Normally I would use a double boiler, but I don't feel like dragging my burner in here. So I'm going to use the microwave. So I'm going to gather all that together and get that microwaved. Looks like it calls for 3/4 cup of the conditioning emulsifier. So I'm going to use my 2-cup measuring cup. 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of the conditioning emulsifier. I need the cetyl alcohol, and it's a 1/4 cup of that. Each one of these little packets is 0.25 ounces, so they give you 4 of those. And I need shea butter, cocoa butter, and argan oil. Okay, so we need 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of the conditioning emulsifier. These are little beads, little wax beads. So measure this out like I did, because it's not quite the entire pack, which is 5 ounces. I didn't use this entire packet of this, so I'm glad I measured that and didn't just dump that in. Now I need the cetyl alcohol, and that calls for 1/4 cup or 1 ounce of that. Each one of these is 1/4 of an ounce, so I would think that it would take all 4, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and measure it, just in case there's a little more in there than what it says. I like to try to always measure when I can. And this is sort of like a wax bead as well. So there's one packet. So all 4 packets equal the 1 ounce, which is what I already knew, but I just wanted to make sure. Then it calls for 3/4 of a tablespoon of shea butter. If you're using a scale instead of measuring cups and measuring spoons, it does have the ounces listed on here. So it would be 4.5 ounces of the conditioning emulsifier, 1 ounce of acetyl alcohol, 0.42 ounces of both shea butter and cocoa butter, 0.35 ounces of argan oil. So I'm using measuring spoons. I'm going to do the 3/4 tablespoon of the shea butter. Now we're going to melt this and then come back and finish up. So this mixture has been heated in the microwave to about 160 degrees until it was melted, and then I let it cool until it was about to solidify around 135 degrees. You can see it has solidified some on the edges. I'm going to scrape that down back into the container. I made a little bit of a mess when I was bringing it back to the table. I spilt about a teaspoon in the floor, so my container is a little messy. So you can see it is about to solidify. You can also check it with a digital thermometer or a candy thermometer. You just want to get it to around 135 before you put the preservative and essential oils in. So now I'm going to add the essential oils and the preservative, and it calls for 40 drops or 0.14 ounces of GeoGuard, and I'm going to do the 40 drops. Maybe 40. So 40 drops of that. And we need 30 drops of lavender 4042. I love the smell of lavender. And 20 drops of tea tree. Now we're going to mix it and pour it into our molds. I may have let mine solidify a little too much, so I'm just going to kind of plop it in here and then let it set up and harden. Again, the silicone spatula works great. Come back and smooth that out after I get it in all the little molds. This smells really good. The tea tree oil is pretty strong right now while this is still kind of warm, but I feel like once it cools, it's going to mellow out and you're really going to be able to smell both oils. and make the mess. So now I just want to make sure, since it did kind of set up a little quick on me, make sure that I get it pressed in here really well. So hopefully I have nice, solid conditioner bars. Setting up on me. It's still really warm in the bottom of the mold, so I think I can get it pressed in pretty good. Just this outer bit is what's solidifying quickly. I think before I let these cool, I'm going to go around and just kind of press down gently with my thumb to make sure there's not any bubbles in there, and to make sure that the mixture is spread out inside the mold really well. It is still very hot in the middle and down underneath this top layer here, so it's mostly just solidified here. So I'm going to press it around and just try to get it spread out really good in that mold, since it did set up pretty quick on me. Just to make sure I have a nice solid bar. You can see it kind of moves around a little bit, so just want to make sure it's really compact in there. Now I'm going to let these cool. I'll wrap them off camera. If you want to see how to wrap bars, you can see my facial cleansing bar video here. I just used the labels in place of tape and wrapped the wraps around them, put the labels on. But if you prefer to have your labels on the other side, you can wrap the papers around your bars, secure it with tape, turn it over, and put your pretty labels on top. So I'll come back and share just a picture of these. This has been the DIY conditioner bar kit from Simply Earth. Use my link and code in the description box below to save 10% on your order of your kit from Simply Earth. I'm Crystal Martin. Thanks for watching.